So, hi, grade 3 students. How are you? So, today, we are going to have another discussion. So, but I want to give the schedule first, okay? This is just for first quarter, and this is subject to change. It depends upon the longevity of the lesson. For example, some lessons are very long, and for example, we are finished with the math or we are finished with science, and then we should focus first on English, like that. Okay, I will just inform you, okay? But for now, this will be our schedule. This we will follow this one for Sunday and Tuesday. We have science and world history. For Monday and Wednesday, we have English and math. And for Thursday, it's series of activities, okay? Okay. So first, but expect that every not all the time the activities are on Thursday, okay? There are times that I will check the activities on Thursday, but I will give also activities and practices on Sunday and choose Sunday to Wednesday, okay? Especially in math, okay? I will give you series of worksheets that is not really recorded, but you have to answer it for you to practice, okay? So first, log in. So let's go to the website now. Okay. Okay. So let's go to Cat Homeschool and then click me. Okay, let's go. Actually, I've scheduled everything now. Last week, there are a lot of problems because it's technicalities and such. So, but now it's going to be more um, detailed and more in a good process na. So, for this week, lesson for this week, from September 29 to October 3. For English, we have plural and singulars. For world history, we have archaeology and continents of the world. But for archaeology, don't worry about that if you're not familiar with that word, because we will not really go deep with archaeology. It's just uh, the important details about it, okay? And then for the continents of the world, also we will discuss that because it is here in your past lesson, past week lesson. So for math, subtraction of two digits. For science, how do plants live and grow? It's continuation. So today, we are going to discuss. So let's go first to your science. Okay. Okay. So last week we discussed and we have an introduction of how plants live and grow, and then what are the parts of the plants. We have that, and then I also give you an activity about the parts of the plants. And for today, we are going to discuss what are cells. For this week, I mean, what are cells? How do plants get energy? How do materials move through plants? How do plants grow and change? Mm, and then we are going to have also activities, and then how do plants reproduce, and then quizzes, okay? Okay. Before we proceed to the our solar system. So, okay, let's discuss now. Don't worry. I will give you the link for this, okay? So that you could also study this slides, okay? So to so first, let us discuss, okay, plant cell. So a plant cell is any type of cell that comes from an organism belonging to the kingdom Plantae. So plant cells are eukaryotic cells, or cells with a membrane-bound nucleus. Unlike prokaryotic cells, that DNA in a plant cell is housed within the nucleus. In addition to having a nucleus, plant cell, in addition to having a nucleus, to a nucleus, plant cells also contain other membrane-bound organelles, or tiny cellular structures that carry out specific functions necessary for the normal cellular operation. Organelles have a wide range of responsibilities that include everything from producing hormones and enzymes to providing energy for a plant cells. So, somewhat like this will be your activity, okay? Okay. So, parts of a plant cell and its function. So, cell plasma or cell or plasma membrane, a thin semi-permeable membrane that surrounds the cytoplasm of a cell, enclosing its contents. So, this is the cell membrane after the cell wall. So, cell wall is the cover, and then followed by cell membrane. Okay, cell wall is the outer covering of the cell that protects the plant cell and give its shape. So next is the chloroplast, the sites of the photosynthesis in a plant cell. They contain chlorophyll, a green pigment that absorbs energy from sunlight. So basically, the photosynthesis happens in chloroplast. So next is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a gel-like substance within the cell membrane containing water, enzymes, salts, organelles, and various organic molecules. So I think cytoplasm is just like, for humans, it's the blood, because it's the gel-like substance in a plant cell. So next is the mitochondria. This organelle generates energy for the cell. So this is the one who gives energy for the cell. So next is endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, extensive network of membrane composed of both regions with ribosomes or rough ER, and regions without ribosomes or smooth ER. So next is the nucleus. Nucleus are membrane-bound structure that contains cells' hereditary information. So next is the nucleolus, structure within the nucleus that helps in the synthesis of ribosomes. So basically, nucleolus is inside the nucleus. So ribosomes, consisting of RNA and proteins. Ribosomes are responsible for protein assembly. So while mitochondria is the one giving energy to the cell, ribosomes are responsible for protein assembly. So mitochondria is for energy and ribosomes is for protein. So vacuole is structure in a plant cell that provides support and participates in a variety of cellular functions, including storage, detoxification, protection, and growth. When a plant cell matures, it typically contains one large liquid fluid, vacuole. So the kinds of plant cells. As a plant matures, its cells become specialized in order to perform certain functions necessary for survival. Some plant cells synthesize and store organic products, while others help to transport nutrients through plants. Some examples of specialized plant cells, as plant cell types include: first is the parenchyma cells. Although not highly specialized, these cells synthesize and store organic products in the plant. So it stores organic product in the plants, although it is not highly specialized. However, collenchyma cells help to support plants while not restraining growth due to their lack of secondary walls and the absence of hardening agent in their primary walls. So collenchyma cells, though it has a lack of secondary walls, or it has a lack of secondary walls, but it is not stopping the lack of secondary walls, not stopping the cells to grow. So Sclerenchyma cells provide a support function in plant, but unlike collenchyma cells, they have a hardening agent and are much more rigid. So, water conducting cells. Water conducting cells of xylem also have support function in plants, but unlike collenchyma cells, they have a hardening agent and are more rigid. And sieve tube members of phloem conduct organic nutrients such as sugar throughout the plant. So, what is phloem? It is like xylem is a complex of tissue. There are actually two types of conducting elements in phloem. However, sieve tube members provide this function in a majority of angiosperms. Unlike the tracheary elements in the xylem, phloem must be living in order to function. The xylem is a complex tissue. There are two types of sclerenchyma conducting cells in the xylem, the tracheids and the vessel elements. The term tracheary elements is sometimes used to refer to these cell types. So I am going to let you watch if you wonder what is prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Okay. I will let you watch this one so that this video, because I know that you can't watch properly just by watching this video, so I will just let you watch all by yourself. I will link this video below in our lesson, and then also with this one, the plant cell structure. Okay, I will link that one too, because it is connected to your activity next meeting. Okay, please watch it and understand it. Okay, thank you. So just continue watching with that one, because if I just let you watch here, it will be difficult for you. So I'll just let you watch for it, and then I will also send the materials, okay, for you to read. Okay. So hello, grade 3. So we will continue our lesson. So earlier, we've talked about the cells, the topic of cells, and then the science subject. And today, and after that, we are going to discuss about world history. So who among you here likes world history? Okay. So who among you here who likes studying about the history of a place? Okay, so first go to the subject. So today we are going to discuss about archaeology, okay? So I will read this one for you first. So in your website is written here, an archaeologist is a scientist. Archaeologists study man-made objects from the distant past to learn more about the development of various civilizations. Archaeologists are not interested in fossils, although they turn up quite a few while looking for artifacts. Archaeology is the scientific study of human life by looking at artifacts, at the man-made objects that people who lived long ago have left behind. Paleontologists are not archaeologists, they study fossils. Historians are not archaeologists, they mostly study written records. Archaeologists are the scientists who studies artifacts, man-made objects that people have left behind. So you just have to remember that archaeologists studies artifacts, man-made objects that people have left behind. Archaeologists are like detectives. By looking at artifacts, they try to figure out how long ago people lived, how they governed themselves, what are they created, their religious beliefs, their technology, science and invention, and their daily life. So they study about the past or the prehistorical past. So they study about how people those days lived. For example, for now we are living with technologies, with robots and such. So they are archaeologists, or the people who study how people survived in the prehistoric in the historic period. So how they lived without technologies, or how they survived their everyday life. So clues archaeologists use to answer these and the other questions about past civilization can sometimes be found in the artifacts they dig up. While looking for artifacts to study, archaeologists can find themselves in some very dangerous situations. Archaeologists have explored ruined deeps in jungles, dug up remains of villages in dangerous deserts, and have even searched underwater. But archaeologists are so curious about the past that they are willing to brave the dangers of poisonous animals and plants, of unclean conditions or unfriendly political climate to discover more about life through the human study of artifacts. So why being an archaeologist dangerous? Because the sites that they visited is very dangerous. Like they go to the deep forest like that, and because why? Because those sites are mostly most of the artifacts are there, right? So mostly, so most of their sites will be there because so I will discuss later what is sites and how they choose sites. So first, let's discuss this one. So yes, what is archaeology? It comes from the Greek word, means the study of ancient. So an archaeologist is someone who tries to figure out what life was like in the ancient past by looking at the remains of ancient people, their fossils, and their artifacts. An archaeologist must know the difference between an artifact and a fossil. So, fossils are remains of living things, plants, animals, and people, not of things that were made. However, artifacts are remains of things that were made by humans, not the remains of living things. But actually, archaeologists focused more on artifacts than fossils. So, what is a site? So this is what I'm talking about. So a site is a place archaeologists wish to explore. Archaeologists study sites that existed before there was a written history about the site. At the site, archaeologists literally dig. So they used this one. So at the site, so dig looking for the remains of ancient civilization. That is why they call the site at which they are working a dig. So a dig is place where archaeologists are working. So how they find a site, or what are their consideration that this place has an artifact. So how do archaeologists find those sites? So how do archaeologists find sites to explore? First, they think about what people need to stay alive. So what are the basic needs of life? Like some of those things include access to clean drinking water, protected place to live, and easy access to trade routes. So which with this in mind, archaeologists look for remains of civilization along the banks of rivers and streams. So first, they think about what people need to stay alive, or the basic needs. So they think about what are the basic needs of people. So they really need water. So maybe most of them lives before in near the water, or near the protected places, or near to the easy access routes. So second, they check out reports of artifacts that have been discovered. Artifacts have been discovered by farmers and construction companies while working at their jobs. So since most constructions are excavating, digging, and most farmers are also digging. So most of them found these artifacts, and then they tell it to the archaeologist. So they check the land. Third is they check the land from the air, looking for unusual land formations that could be ruins of an ancient living civilization. So there are, have you noticed that there are several unusual land formations? So maybe, so some archaeologists also consider that one, so that they can check if this site has an artifact. So they fourth, they use scientific instruments like radar and sonar to look for ruins. So they just don't use this one. They just don't use this digging machine or this one, they used scientific instrument, means they really use good instruments or great technology, so that they can make their work efficient. So how do archaeologists find the artifacts? So by excavating or uncovering items at the site, archaeologists comes across many artifacts. A good place to excavate is a trash dump, which they called a Medan. Trash dumps offer a wide range of artifacts such as flakes, which are pieces of stone tools. So before they begin digging, archaeologists design a grid on the ground using a rope and string. So how do they start their, when they choose, after choosing a site, how do they start their digging? So first, they put grids and label it. Each square in the grid must be carefully searched. The archaeologist must record anything that is found, including anything found next to the item. So the tools of the trade, so the tools they use are sometimes very simple. But tools include straws, brushes, spoons, dental picks, and so on and so forth. They search each grid very carefully. Digging at the site is slow and careful work. So that if they, for example, they dig deep and then they destroy the artifacts that they've been searching for, so it's useless, right? So they should dig carefully. So when they're back in the lab, objects are loaded on the truck and shipped to the lab from the site. In the lab, the items are relabeled and documented on a computer. So they make sure that they encoded everything in the computer, so they will have a copy, a soft copy. So it takes a great deal of education, and after that, they they perform the scientific process. So they analyze what is that artifact. So it needs really patience and attention and detail to work as an archaeologist. So you have to be specific to details. For example, if the texture is rough, so what's the meaning of this? You have to be detailed. You have to focus on details. So, archaeologists also use the information to put together the pieces of the past. So, for example, they found this artifacts near to each other. So, they usually put together those pieces and then create and then study what's all about, or if these artifacts are connected or not. So the job of an archaeologist. So what is the job of an archaeologist? The job of an archaeologist is a great deal like the job of a detective. So you know what's detective, right? The one who um, really search for deep searching, who was a deep searching for everything. So here are some puzzles for you to serve. So this will be your activity. While planting my garden, I found a 3 foot long bone made out of stone. Did I find a fossil or an artifact? So next is, while exploring in my woods near my house, I found an old arrowhead. Did I find a fossil or an artifact? So, okay. I will post this video, slides in our site, okay? And also, after reading that one and answering the activity that I gave you, I want also you to click this one and then watch the video, okay? Watch the video. It is a continuation of our lesson. So, okay? Okay. Please watch that one, okay? Okay. So, I hope you answer this one, okay? So, just write it in your notebook or in a paper and then bring it on, and then I will check that one in our next meeting, okay? Okay. So, I hope you learned something, and I hope you will watch the video so that you can understand more. And then read also the articles, okay? I will post it here. Okay, just have to check it. Okay, bye. Thank you. See you next meeting.